The experience of the streets gained while traveling to the United States and other parts of the world amid different cultures has infused Nettie with a sense of gratitude which he wants to share with others. Well known throughout the area for his music, Nettie reads his poems accompanied by music. Nettie has performed here at the library with his jazz trio and has led our jazz and poetry celebrations during National Poetry and Jazz Appreciation Month in April for several years. A book of poems is dedicated to his music community and fans, as well as to the newfound audience for his writings and free-flowing poetry. Also, Nettie's book will be for sale at the end of the day, and he'll sign the book for you. So please join me in welcoming Lester G. Nettie Smith.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm grateful, real grateful to be here today, and with some good friends of mine. One is a student and one is a friend from the 70s. We haven't played together, and we talked. He said he's coming. I said, okay, come. Whatever we do, we do. It's not restricted to what you do, but what we do. We don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to do. On bass, it's my student, and he's fantastic. Young man with a lot of desire to play, to learn, and to do whatever it is to get to where he wants to go. For that, I admire him immensely. Thank you. Mr. Brad Little. And I forgot to tell you my buddy's name. It's Lascelles Ewing. Poetry to me is twofold. It's language, but language not in the prose sense of lots of detail, a novel. It's not like that to me. I don't see too many words in my head. I see notes. So to me, a note is a word. Oh, how can a note be a word? How can a word be a note? That is the metaphor that makes poetry and music marry so well together. I have come to the understanding from the old school. Leonard Bernstein in the 70s, no, I'm giving away my age. But Leonard Bernstein in the 70s did a series of lectures in Hartford. What's that college name? Harvard. Yeah. Harvard, not Hartford. Harvard. He did a series of lectures, and he was trying to look at what Chomsky was saying about language and trying to relate it to music in terms of its relationship. What I got from those series of lectures was the way I thought about music. I always thought that music is abstract and it's always in my head. So for many years, what I would do, I would compose instrumental music. In the 80s, I did an album with words and music. But I've always thought of the melody. Think about it for a moment. Think of your name. I'm going to prove something to you. Think of your name and write your name on these cards. When you write your name on these cards, I want you to think about the musicality of your name. Not just your name is, or your name is, but think of the musicality of your name. That's my theme. A book of poems, someone once said to me, why don't you give it a traditional name, a traditional title? That's where the guy went wrong with me. The moment he said traditional, and I must be as normal, that's where he lost me. I take a cup and turn it upside down because I don't want it to be a cup anymore. I want it to be something else. I had English teachers from England. They would come to Jamaica and they would want us to speak this proper English and, pronounce the H's. Jamaicans drop it. We don't have any H's. We just drop everything. That's proper. Okay, so we have to go to the court and we have to speak the Queen's language. Of course, that's normal. But don't tell me I'm going to hang with my buddies and speak the Queen's English when we don't. So in many instances, you will see that there is a musicality within the way we speak, the way we do our thing, the way we dance, whatever we do, there's a musicality. I was teaching a group of young people, and they were bored stiff. And I said to them, do this for me. Just do that. I said, just make noise. You're not making any noise. Just make noise. And the kids began to make noise. Their teachers were hanging all around the walls, and they were having fun. I said, yes, that's what I want you to do. Have fun. So when we look at music, I was going to call my book MusicOloGist, but I did not. It's the first poem in the book. Ever since that gentleman told me, he was arguing with me. Oh, no, you got to give it a title. You got to give it a title. I said, okay. It's a book of poems. What are you going to do about it? My wife always said to me that I'm provoking. And she's right. Because I turn things upside down. I don't work within the normal framework of normal people. And that's why me and this guy get along that well. Because we're not traditional thinkers. We don't think in the norm of everyday people. And some people don't understand that. So poetry and prose, even though they're languages, they are separate in the way they're framed. Music and poetry are the two things that comes together real nicely. Now, let me tell you, my name is Nettie. How many syllables?
2.
Okay. How many notes?
2.
But it's one word, isn't it? Could you play those notes for me, please?
Nettie?
Yeah, play Nettie.
Okay.
That's a word. Lassell, play the harmony for those 2 notes for me. Now, that's an adjective. That's an adjective because it's describing the noun of that word. Now, nobody's going to move unless they feel the verb. Tell me what you think the verb is.
Action.
Action. So what's in music is action.
Fast.
Rhythm. Rhythm. So let's play some rhythm with those things that we just discussed. See, you don't move, you don't swing until you feel that rhythm. See? You could dance, you could do all the things you want to rhythm is there. So, I'm a musicologist, not a radiologist. I studied mathematics, but am I a genius? No. I just do things for us. That's all I do. So, okay, we can stop right there. When we think of the first, oh, by the way, these books are on sale. I have to do this because the library is going to get 50% of what it is. So please, support the library. I beg of you, support the library. MusicOloGist. MusicOloGist has 3 syllables. In each one, I will describe what it really means. So when you read my book, don't just read it like an ordinary book. Don't read it like an ordinary poem book. An ordinary poetry book has strict form. I break some rules. I break it because musically, I know the rules to break the rules. So when I look at the first title, music, where's my galaxy? You know, I had this big plan, this big outline to do many, many things, and my wife said, keep it simple. Oh, by the way, this is my wife, Jean. She owns a store down in Sono, Jean's Closet. So I know I have to go home, so I better be plugging. Right there, thanks for coming. She closed the store just to come out today. Music. Let's start with music. Music is vocal or instrumental. Now, play B, C, the B flat. Keep doing that. That's instrumental. Keep doing that again. Keep repeating. No matter where I go, I can find my happiness. No matter where I roam, I can rest my head anywhere I found. We can stop right there. So, in MusicOloGist, we have music, we have vocal, we have instrumental. It can be written or printed. The sounds that are made by humans from humans. For example, if you hit the bark of a tree, what sound does it give? But you think it's not musical, you think it's just boom. All right. If you hit the highest note on a piano, what sound does it give? A high pitch, right? Give you a high pitch. But which one is more musical than the other? I have to think about that a bit. The names you have written on that paper, I want each person to call the names out starting on my right.
Elizabeth.
Claudia.
Keep going.
Jeff.
Jeff.
Richard.
Stuart.
Paula. Barbara.
Jerry.
Sally. Noreen.
Gwendolyn.
Suki.
Suki.
Suki John.
Suki John.
Andrea.
Maya. Bob. Now, look at how beautiful this is going to sound. I'm going to put it in tempo, and I want your names to be again from right all the way to left.
Elizabeth.
Claudia.
Jeff.
Stuart.
Andrea.
You see how musical that was? Think about how beautiful your names sounded. You're not boring. You're happy. You know? We went to Italy and we were in Rome. Went to this Moms and Pop restaurant. And I mean, they fed us. We thought that that was the meal, but those were just tasters. When the real meal came, we couldn't eat. But we had to stuff ourselves to show appreciation. But the beauty about what I observed, and I really never observed it before, was the hand gestures. How they were talking with their hands. And I saw the musicality in that. And I said, that's the expression. That's the expression. That's music. Music expresses. But how do we feel when we hear the expression of music? That's innate and it's unique to each one of us. The next part of MusicOloGist is Olo. Olo. Only laugh once. How many of you go online to shop? Yeah? You online order, right? So you laugh once, you only laugh once, and you online shop. There's some joy in that when you go and shop. Feeling. Olo also means feeling. So not only do you have the music expressing by a player playing that music, but how does that music make you feel? So in poetry, as a musicologist, and you'll become musicologists too when I'm done with you. Indie. In indie, this word means, you're from India, right?
Yes.
So in indie, this